Now see this same piece of craft paper, and it's 3 feet wide, and I folded it. It folds up nice. I just made it 2 feet wide. That way I can be working off of the carpet. I could be standing on the carpet. I can have my paint can on top of this, right? And if this was glue down carpet or wood flooring or something, I would go 3 foot wide. But see, on carpet, this carpet with pad, and this is kind of a shag, you start walking on it and it moves on you, and then you have to constantly keep shoving it up there if you've got it 3 feet wide. I don't necessarily need to have it 3 feet wide. I'm going to be nice and easy on it. And this was a scrap piece I had, and I saved it so when I start painting, I can just paint, you know, from there to there, and then I just slide this along. And then start painting some more. Slide it along. Start painting some more. Flip it around for the next wall, the next wall, the next wall. And I don't even have to walk on that stuff, see? And for the closet, same thing. I've got a piece, I measured it and I just folded the ends so I didn't cut it off, and I just folded it in there. And that's all I need. Now I could take my other piece of craft paper if I want, and I can run it out here, or run it this way, or fold it in half and just have another little piece here. I don't think I'm going to. I'm gonna be careful. I don't have to be any further than this, and then I'll have my step ladder. I can set my step ladder on here. And the thing I like about craft paper is if you get any spills on it, you're gonna see them. If you had a canvas drop, you're not going to see your bits of paint that come off, are you? Or plastic. You're just going to be walking on it, and then you're going to have it on the bottom of your shoes. And then when you go out to the next room, if you don't check your feet, you're going to have it down on the tile floor, down on the carpet, down on the linoleum, down on the wood flooring, whatever it is. Or you could have it on this carpet and walking around, and now somebody sees your footprints. Oops. You know, this, I keep it all to a minimum, and I'm just careful when I roll. Okay? And that's generally what I use for drops. I just use this stuff. It's just my craft paper, and see, when I get done with this room, see, I only need I could do this whole room with that one piece, because I'm just going from here to there. And then when I get ready for that, I just take this. I just take this and slide it over. You know, push it down in like that. Go some more. Slide it over with my foot. How hard is that? I mean, that's the cheapest, easiest, quickest thing. You can use craft paper for all kinds of stuff. And see, I'm not going to set up the bathroom yet, because once I get done with this room, once I get done with the hallway, now I can use that piece of craft paper, I can use that piece of craft paper, and I can use this long piece of craft paper out in the hallway, and I can pick and choose how I want to do this. Because see, with this, I've got the ceiling to do, remember? You get little paint droplets, trust me. I don't care what kind of roller you use. Professionals use the lambskin 1¼ nap, 9-inch covers for their 9-inch frame. Well, I'm using a 6-inch mini roller, okay, with a 3/8 nap. No matter what you use, it's going to spit. I don't care, all right? And I like to use the little 6-inch mini roller because it gives me control over my head. I can get in there nice. Hey, it's not going to take me that long to paint this anyways. Why do I want to get out a big old 9-inch cover frame and all that when I can just do it with a small little mini roller? And see, when I get in here, I'll put masking. See, I'm not done in this room. I got to put masking tape over the top edge of the fiberglass tub surrounds, okay? Then I'm gonna put a little piece of craft paper down in the bottom there. Okay, probably that little piece that I'm pushing around that I'm showing you, or the piece that I have in the closet. Then I'm gonna put a piece over the countertop and fold it over and just tape it. Then I'm gonna take another little piece, I'll have to rip off a little piece and drape over the lights, because trust me, the little droplets, they're gonna get on top of your light bulbs. They're gonna get on top of the trim pieces. They're gonna get on top of the canopies. Whatever is up there, it's gonna get stuff on. And then I'll put masking tape. See, when I cut the craft paper, it'll go around the sink faucet. The sink faucet, I'll put masking tape over that. I'll put masking tape over that. The bottom here will be covered, because you'll see the little droplets. And you might think, oh, I'll just wipe those off later. Well, the droplets dry, and then they're not as easy to get off as you would think. And then you get them on this little edge right there. You get them in the sink. You get it here. You get it on top of there. You get it on top of this. You get it on the toilet. See, I'm gonna drape a little piece over this, and because this toilet is so far away from the wall, that's pretty good. I'm gonna just drape a little piece over that. Do you see what I mean? And I can use all that from these drops that I have in the hall, this hall, and the other two pieces I have. See, I have a little bit more craft paper. You see? But when the roll gets this small, once you cut it out, then you have to fold it on the back side of it, so it lays flat on the floor. And maybe I don't need any more of that. If I do need a little bit more, it's only going to be, one little piece out of there. And then once I get done with the bathroom, or even before I go in the bathroom, I'll take my drops, my craft paper, and I'll do it over here. Same thing, right? I can put it right along here. Not only do I have to paint that, I have to paint up above the windows, the window frames. You see what I mean? Down on the side over there. So I just run a little piece of craft paper right here, and I only need. See, I only have a section 3 foot, 3.5, 4 feet wide here, 4 feet wide over there. Put the craft paper, slide it that way. When I get to there, then I slide it over after I paint from here to there. Do you see what I mean? And then I'll go in the bathroom. So you just have to decide. This is another beast in itself. Most times people don't have a nice little unit like this that fits in against the wall and the table here and stuff. I'm gonna have to really be tricky with this one. Masking tape on there, cut some craft paper and stuff, because I want this covered. I don't have any plastic. I'm gonna actually have to stand on this to get up there. I'm gonna have to stand on the table probably to get all the way up to there. If I can't reach it, I'm gonna have to take my little 3 foot ladder and set it right there. I'll have to find a blanket over here. There's a blanket here, and fold it up, maybe 2 blankets, and then set my ladder on that, prop it up there so that I can get up here. That's just to do the cut-in, okay? I can do all the rolling down on the ground, right? But once I get ready to do the cut-in, I got to get up there. But first and foremost, once I do all of the painting, I'll have some craft paper down on this, on the table, on this other thing, and then I can pull that craft paper up. And then when I do the cut-in, obviously I don't need the craft paper in my way, do I? Right in here. Maybe I'll have to do it a different way, or I'll have to carry the paint with me, and I've got a little container for that, and I'll show you that later. I'm not sure exactly where it's at right now, but in any case, craft paper. I use this stuff all the time. It's not just on this job. I'll do this. If this was my condo, I'd do the same thing. Anybody else's condo, I do the same thing. And you see, you just fold it, and then when I need to use that for a 3-footer, I'll just unfold it again. It unfolds real nice. And that's the only piece I'm going to need for this whole room. I could have used just this piece. You know, it was a little bit shorter though. After I get done with this closet, then I can take that and I could move that along. But then I have to slide it back and forth even longer. Usually what I do, if it's let's say if it's a flat floor, more so, I would use a piece maybe about 8 feet long. This one's maybe 6.5, 7 feet long or so. 9 to 10 feet. Maybe I would have one, and then I could slide that, and it's a little bit nicer to work with. But if you're in a small confined little bedroom like this, hey, that's all you need for your paint drops. Okay? Remember that. Now, I'm going to work strategically. Now, because I know I'm using that old paint for this closet, I only have to have everything set up for that. I don't have to have anything else in the entire job done just yet if I didn't want to, because I'm only using that old semi-gloss paint for this little closet. Now, if I would have painted the eggshell in here and used eggshell, that's going to be for here and the hallway and the other room, then I would want to make sure that everything's ready as it is ready. Okay, because usually when I get into one paint with the roller, I like to have all those areas ready. Okay, before I get done, before I wash the roller out, or before I go into the next business, because I know once this is done with the roller, I can't use the roller anymore just yet, can I? I have to rinse it out. I can't just use it to go in here if I don't have a second roller cover, because that roller cover is going to be wet. Okay, you can wring it out, you can let it dry out in the sun, whatever, but it's going to take a while for it to dry. So you always want to make sure you've got enough roller covers. For my part, I have at least 2 brand new roller covers, and I might have an older one that I've used a couple times that I could still get by to use if I need to, because one roller cover here, then I'm going to rinse that out. Then I'm not going to do any paint cut in or any of that. More than likely, well, I could, but usually I don't. I usually wait for all of this to dry first before I get in there to do the cut in. That way I'm reaching around, put my hand on there. I'm not going to get myself any paint on me. Okay, so then I use the next roller cover for in this room. Down the hallway is the same color, eggshell. Down in the next room, that's all eggshell. Okay, so once I get the roller out, I'm gonna just blow and go with all of the stuff that I need for that color. So that tells me, what does that tell me? That tells me that I'm gonna have to, when I get done with this room, I'm gonna use my drops on down in this where I don't need to use any drops in here. This is semi-gloss. This is a different roller cover that I'm gonna have to use. Do you see what I mean? So what I have to do before I get into that eggshell, yeah, I've been dreading this. I've got to figure out how to cover this with my craft paper, okay? And I might have to dig into the other one because once I get the roller out, what I like to do is continue. Do you see what I mean? And so I think, for the sake of argument, right now I'm gonna have to take my new craft paper, roll it out, and besides that, it's going to get all wrinkly, folded up. I may have to cut it a little bit or something. I'm not quite sure just yet. I always like to try to save my craft paper pieces for next project. You see what I mean? So I'll end up, you know, whatever I end up having to do here, it's going to be covered with craft paper. So then I've got my flat sheets in there, like in the closet, like in the bedroom, and I can bring them out here. I don't necessarily want to cut this one up just yet, okay? And I can use those other ones for out in here. Then when I get all of the eggshell done, boom, whatever I have to do at that point, as that's drying, then I'll take my craft paper, I'll dismantle this little section, and I'll see what pieces of craft paper I still have that are small pieces that I can cut those pieces up and stuff, and then I can fashion a countertop there, do something over there, cut a piece for the toilet, cut around for the toilet on the floor over the top of the tank. You see what I mean? I'm gonna have a couple extra cuts here and there, but I'll try to put a long 3-foot straight one right here, and I can save that for later. As for these other ones, I'll probably end up throwing them away. Okay, so I just try to, that's kind of what I do on different jobs. I just try to figure out how can I use my material properly, and because when I get done with this job and I drive back home, I can roll up the other pieces of craft paper that are still good, and I can just roll it up along with whatever little piece I have left. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Well, you know what it smells like in here? It smells like progress. I got the first, I got all the walls done inside the closet, the top of the closet shelf, and the bottom section is as best I could. I tried to do most of it with my extension pole, but then if I have to take it off and get up in there a different way, I have to. I had to shimmy back up to get the back side of the wall. Does anybody ever going to see that? Probably not, but if anybody does check it, they'll see that yes, I did a 100% job. Now I'm not going to get into the paint for cut-in until this all dries. That way I can lean against it, I can back up and not have to worry about anything, hitting anything, getting up there, not getting on my chest, on my shirt, on my sleeves, whatever. You know, just wait for it to dry and go on to something else. Now, I've already cleaned out my my roller and my roller frame and my cut-in, my little throwaway paintbrush, and I'm letting that stuff dry while I work on the next thing. And what is the next thing I'm going to do? Yes, I got to get the craft. I got to get this craft paper out. Okay, and I've got to go in there by that table and monkey around with that and try to jerry rig that together so that I can cover that. I mean, if anything drips on it, you just have a sponge ready and a bucket, and son of a gun, the first thing I did was I hit the wood trim up high, this wood up there by accident, and I got my sponge out, cleaned that off, hit the back side of this by accident, thing slid off, wiped that off. And so always have a sponge ready, a bucket ready, clean water. I'm going to have to clean the water now because there's paint in it, and a rag. You know, be ready for anything, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, so yes, could I get into the other paint for this room and the hallway? Yeah, but then I'm going to have to stop, and I can't do around the table until I get the table done, and then the paint roller cover is wet, and then I've got to let that sit and all that. I like to, you know, I like to get everything ready, right? And I've got two covers. Let me show you the paint frame and the roller that I ended up using. I'll bring you in here because there's more light. See, this is the roller cover or roller frame. This is what you call the roller frame, And here's the roller cover. I think this was 3/8 or 3/4 nap, and it was 6" and you want to make sure you get the bigger one if you're going to use this. If you're going to use the weenie roller with just the one little piece sticking out, then you have to get the right one. So make sure when you're at the store you get the right one. See, this one, even though it goes in only that far, it's designed to hold either 4" or 6". And the ones, I thought it kind of odd, the ones for this frame, this roller cover is 6.5 inches, not 6". I think they said. And you don't have to get one of these that's longer. In fact, they don't have one that's longer for this. And you just put it in there. And see, I've already cleaned it off. I always like to clean stuff off. This is almost dry, believe it or not, after I rinsed it out. And see, that's another good reason why I have my craft paper. I mixed up the paint over there, and I whisked this out over there, you know, after I rinsed it out with water and my paintbrush and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff will be dry before you know it. And this one will be ready. This one will be ready after a while. But see, I've got 2 of these. And so I'm going to let this one dry fully so that I can get into the other one that I have. And then I'll do all this eggshell with the other one. Okay? Just have a plan and go for it. I wanted to show you my paint tray, and that's all I use. Just a paint tray, but this one's a metal tray, but this, I've never used the metal tray. This is a plastic insert. You see? That thing, okay, yeah, it's got a little paint around the edge. I've never poured paint in there, and that thing's probably, 6 or 7 years old. And I've got extra trays like that. Now, see, I'm going to set this one off to the side. I'll set this one off to the side, and if I'm going to use it to cut in all this stuff, I'll set it off to the side, and then I can use it. Obviously, I'm not going to use this for any other painting, am I? Because it's the old semi-gloss, and I've got about 1/8 of a gallon left for my cut-in, and I should be fine with that. So I'll probably cut in right from the can, you know what I mean? But if I wasn't, I could just pour it in here, or pour it in a little container, whatever. Then I let this one dry. I probably won't use this one anymore today. Okay? You've got it. You don't want to just let this skin over and then think, oh, I'll pour some other paint in it and start working with it. Even if this was 1 day old, I wouldn't want to pour a different color in here tomorrow, let's say, thinking, oh yeah, it's fine. Because depending how long you have that paint in there, it's going to activate and reactivate the other paint, and you could mix the two together, or this will loosen up. You'll see some clumps in there. You're going to think like, what is going on with that? And oh man, I shouldn't have used that paint tray. So I've got 5 or 6 paint trays, just like this one, and I got plenty of other paint trays for the rest of the project. Paint trays of which, hang on, let me get them. Let me get them, and I'll show you. I probably won't use a brand new one on this job. In fact, I haven't used a brand new one for a while. Here's some stuff that I've used. Okay, and this one, I don't know why this one's smaller than all the other ones, but I just leave all my knickknacks stuff in here. Okay, and so here, I haven't used this one for months, but see, that's a good one. I can use that for the eggshell for this room. This next one, I could use that for the semi-gloss paint, or I could use this one for the semi-gloss, this with the eggshell, or I could use this one. Now this one's an older one, and I used some other stuff in there, but I could use that in a pinch if I had to. It's all crinkly on the back. I put some duct tape on it, but I saved that for emergency purposes. And behind that, I believe, oh man, I think I have one new one that is on the back side of that. I might have used it. I might have used it as a matter of fact. But in any case, that's just kind of what I do. And see, when I do the paint roller, I set that in front of it because as you're rolling the paint on there, you want to get some of the excess off, and if you're not paying attention, it's just gonna whiz right back out on you. So in the room, in this next room, I might just take this along with me and put it like that. Just be careful and see if anything comes out here, and I think, oh, I better be more careful. Or if I don't, I would have to put this sideways, you know, off to the side, off to the left, and then do it over there, and reach over, and then do my wall, boom, 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 slide it over, boom, 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 and just be careful with it, and then the next one to the far left, put it over here on the right, do it, boom, boom, boom. You just, see, this isn't enough to go this way, because you will splatter paint out there no matter how careful you are, okay? But this is an old donut box. I've had this thing for years. And I just keep it with my paint stuff, and you know, I got a 5-gallon bucket with all kinds of paint brushes and rags and strainers and mixers, mixer sticks, 5-gallon mixer sticks, 1-gallon mixer sticks, different frames, cut-in brushes, throwaway brushes. And I can accumulate all that because I can afford to do that. Why? Because I don't pay anybody to do all the painting. And like I said, if you weren't with me, or if you missed that, you know, if somebody would have charged my friend to do all this painting for her, I'm guessing $3,500 to paint all this. Okay, it costs like $150 of paint that I'm using, one tube of caulking, and some masking tape. You know, probably $165. Less, no paintbrushes, nothing like that, because I got all that stuff. Okay, and this room, it's not very big, but there's so much stuff they have to move, so much stuff you have to put back together. You can't just paint all this stuff in place and go around things and different things and slide the bed out 1 foot and try to get in behind, push the bed back up, and do the same with the dresser. No, the headboard was attached to it, and this heavy particle board. You start sliding things out. Instead of doing it the proper way, you could rip your dresser apart, pull it apart. If it's particle board, you know, all kinds of things that can go iffy. You know what I mean? And I had to patch different areas and do some nail holes and do some different things. All the different things I've showed you. Okay? And when I get done, I'm gonna have to put it all back together. But it's just my labor. It's just my labor. And it's only your labor. This whole thing costs less than $200 for all the materials. But if you paid somebody to do all this, you're probably looking at $3,500. If you disagree with that, send me a message. Say, hey, Video Joe, I think you're way too high. Or maybe I'm too low. Okay? But the beauty is, that's what my videos are about. Trying to help you save money around the house. This just happens to be a painting segment, a painting course, mini course, whatever, wherever you're seeing it. I've got all kinds of stuff for electrical, ceiling fans, air conditioning, wall mount air conditioning units, drywall repairs and patching, and plumbing repairs and installs, and all the kind of stuff that you need to learn how to do around the house. Those types of things, okay? So thanks for joining me, and I'll be right back to show you more. Now, as for covering that table and the surround area, this would be the time that if I had a little bag of plastic, you know, thin plastic, maybe a tarp size, 12 by 12, 10 by 10, 9 by 9. In fact, I should probably carry one of those with me for times like this where I could just need it, you know, just for this, because I could drape it over this whole thing and be done with it. As it is, I'm going to have to do it and fashion it out of craft paper, but I know I can do it. I'll Joe Guyver it for sure. Da 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 da, and they said it couldn't be done. I just got 2 pieces. I only had 2 pieces left out of that roll. Rolled it out and taped it along there. I just folded up the edge only an inch at both ends. So when I cut in, see, I got to cut in this whole thing anyway, so I just have this taped up to the wall. I didn't have to go exactly down tight. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have like 2 inches or so of paint cut in around that leather couch seating area. Anyways, so when I paint, I'm just gonna paint right on down to the craft paper, you know. And I wanted to do that because when I paint this ceiling up here, it's gonna spit and little sprinkles are gonna come down here. You know, before I move this, after I get done painting, maybe I'll show you what I'm talking about. And see, it's going to be kind of tricky getting that wall over there. I might have to come over here if I can reach it with my roller, or I may have to paint sideways this way. You know what I mean? Either way, I'll get it, and then I'll be able to do this up here. I'll do everything I can with the paint roller, you see? Then, after I know any paint droppings on here are dry, then I can move this stuff, because guess what? That's the rest of my craft papers. But I know I got plenty. You know, I got these 2 pieces. This one's 6 feet long. This one's about 8 feet long. I got this one about 10 feet long. And then I got the 2, I still got the 2 in the bedroom. You see, I'm going to keep that one there when I do the cut in, and then when I get ready to start the painting, which is going to be in a minute now, I'm just going to use that for my drop. Boom, 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 and I'll probably just end up using that drop all the way in the other room. This long one here, I'm just going to use for the hallway. You know what I mean? Just on down to here, and then I'll use that small one over there, and I've got this all set up for over here, and that's where all my eggshell is, and that'll be pretty much it for the eggshell, for the roller. Then I can take these pieces here, or however the pieces I've got left. I'll probably want to try to keep the longest ones, the couple longest ones for later. So maybe this 8-foot long one and this 10-foot long one, at least, in case I have to cut some up for the bathtub and around the countertop, like I was talking about, going around the counter there and cutting, notching around the toilet, over the toilet seat, over the toilet tank. You know, some of those small pieces, they're not going to be worth anything when I get done. You see what I mean? And then of those, I can just fold up and throw away. The rest of these, I might have a good 3 pieces that are still straight, and I'll just roll them up, take them home with me, and on the next job, guess what? I've got them for my painting again, and I have to remind myself to go get some more craft paper. That craft paper, I forget how many feet, 150 feet, 200 feet for a roll, and it's only like 15 bucks. And see, there was only 2 pieces I needed for this. Had I had a plastic little sheeting thing, that probably would have cost me $1.99, $2, $3.99, whatever. And chances are, I probably wouldn't use that plastic that often anyways. As it is, I just use those 2 pieces, and I can use those pieces again on down the road for my next painting project. Hope you learned something.